Timberwolves, we've talked about them a lot during the offseason, and we appreciate the Timberwolves fans enjoy our videos, but we have some sad news, right? Because Timberwolves fired Gerson Rosas, and I hope I'm saying that name right. I might not be. And they fired him unexpectedly. It shocked everybody. Karl Anthony Towns even tweeted WTF on Twitter because he was shocked by this. And many people thought that this would lead to Cat demanding a trade, but it hasn't happened, and I don't think he's planning on doing it either, so that's a good sign. But to summarize it, his reign, according to The Athletic, I was reading their article, was described as dysfunctional, and rival teams would complain about how he treated relationships and negotiations, and some said Rosas worked long staff hours without giving his input on decision making. And one member said, he's not who I thought he was. And he was also criticized for firing Ryan Saunders and bringing in Chris Finch. And Rosas, who's also married, had intimate relations with someone who worked in the organization, which made people uncomfortable. So this dude got fired, and his marriage is in shambles right now.
His life is in shambles.
This is double L's for him.
Yeah.
But he also had backers, right? Everybody wasn't crucifying this guy. He had backers. I'm guessing Cat was one of them because he tweeted WTF. But some people in the organization blame the organization and the pandemic and not Rosas. And also, some insisted that it was an environment in which people could speak freely and offer their views on what needed to be done. And that teams across the board, the league, were dealing with issues of discontent among overworked scouts, executive coaches, and players. I'm not sure what that second part has to do with the first part, but the point is that he did have backers. Some people thought that it was a great organization to work for, and the environment, it was a free and open environment. So this is like a 50-50 thing, right? Some people are saying he was horrible, the culture was toxic, he was having an affair while working, and the other side is saying, no, he's actually a good dude, I respected him, and this firing shocked me. So what are your thoughts on this whole dilemma?
It just sounds like the typical world. You know, some people liked him, some people didn't. Some people had a different opinion. I feel like it's good because now Timberwolves can go in a new direction. They've been in shambles for a long time. You know, Minnesota hasn't been a good organization since freaking Kevin Garnett. You know, and the hires Rose was making, David Kahn, Saunders, they put, you know, Tom Thibodeau's a great coach. He shouldn't have general manager duties. I'm sorry. That's just not what he should be doing. I think Rosas has, if that's his name, I don't know how to pronounce his name, but I think he didn't make the best decisions for the Timberwolves. And it's just it's a start in a new direction. You know, you get a new guy in there, maybe somebody who appeals more to the players, somebody who's more of a connector, somebody who's more of a people person. And then you can start this new trend. You know, Anthony Edwards is now here, D'Lo's here, Cat's here. You got a young set group of guys, new coach, new environment. So this is something that you can just bring that's different, a different energy, a different vibe to the arena, because Minnesota has talent. They just haven't been good in a long time. They've made the playoffs, one time in 10 years?
With Jimmy and Thibodeau, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, and they won a game. And then before that, it's been a KG era. So this team needs to buckle down and really figure out what this franchise is, because it's embarrassing.
So I'm kind of split on this, right? Because you talked about they need a new direction. I'm not sure that's true, because Gerson Rosas was just hired. I mean, this happened after Thibodeau was fired. It's not too long ago. He didn't have much time to really fix the Timberwolves. And this is a tweet from Dane Moore, who covers the Timberwolves, and he's a host of a Timberwolves podcast with the Blue Wire Pods, I believe. And he said, Gerson Rosas was terrific to work with as a media member, was transparent, always available on or off the record, came on my pod numerous times, and we know how much that means, you know, coming on a podcast. That's huge for us podcasters, so we can never agree with that. And somehow found out I got laid off. This guy, Dane Moore, was laid off. And before he told his family, Rosas already knew about it and called me that day. And called him that day and actually, you know, spoke to him about it and stuff. So it looks like he was a pretty good human being. And this last thing Dane Moore said was that Rosas treated you like a real person. And of course, when people work in the NBA, whether it's athletes or executives or coaches, oftentimes as a media member, you don't get treated like a real person because you're just looked at as the media. So I guess this kind of speaks to the point that Rosas was a good person. My biggest concern with this move is that Rosas fired Ryan Saunders, which if you think it was justified, that's your opinion. I think I'm 50-50 on the decision. I think Ryan Saunders probably wasn't ready to be head coach, but I think the firing was unexpected. And he hired Chris Finch. He brought in his head coach from the Toronto Raptors. Now, they just promoted this fellow named Sachin Gupta. I hope I'm saying that right. He's the first person of Indian origin to run a basketball organization.
Nice.
So this is a W for Indians all across the world. So hit that applause button right there. Shout out to Indians right now. Gupta, new president of basketball operations.
That's a good move.
I'm not sure if it is. We'll see.
No, I mean like good move for the culture.
Okay, that's a good move for the culture. Yeah. Even though we lost a Spanish brother today, we lost a Spanish brother yesterday. But Gupta, he's the creator of the ESPN Trade Machine, and he's a respected mind. But Chris Finch is not his head coach. So is this guy gonna try to tear down everything Rosas did? Is he gonna try to?
Rosas is gone now.
I know. So there's no reason why he can't. And Gupta and Rosas had beef during their tenure in Minnesota because I keep forgetting his last name. Gupta, he wanted to get a GM job somewhere else, but he believed that Rosas was blocking him from doing so. So there was some beef between them as well. But that's my biggest worry, is that he could try and ruin what Rosas was trying to build. We know the Timberwolves wanted Ben Simmons. Now, are they going to get Ben Simmons? We're not sure. I read a report somewhere that said Rosas, the reason behind his firing was because the Timberwolves felt like he was going to make an impulsive decision in trading for Ben Simmons. So this firing could have had something to do with the Wolves not wanting Ben and stopping Rosas from trying to trade for Ben, and that's why they fired him, and that's why Gupta was promoted. But the report said that the Timberwolves have been doing internal investigations on Rosas for a while, and even though they did find out about that affair, that wasn't the reason they fired him. They fired him because of basketball reasons, and because Mark Lore and Alex Rodriguez, who are about to be Timberwolves' new ownership and have a majority stake, want a new direction. They were worried about the concerns that they were receiving from people about Rosas. So it does seem like, the Timberwolves are a mess, but this isn't new to Timberwolves fans. It kind of has been that way for a while. But Rosas, I don't think, did a bad job. You can only say the only miss was Jared Culver. But Jared Vanderbilt has been good. Naz Reid has been good. Anthony Edwards, we know that was a hit. The other young guy, Malik Beasley, getting him was good. Even though, another thing that I read in the article was that people inside the organization were upset about the D'Lo trade because they felt like the protections on the first round picks weren't good enough. So, but I thought the D'Lo trade was good too. And now getting Pat Bev, I think that was a good move too. So getting Pat Bev, D'Lo, Beasley, Edwards, Cat, McDaniels. I mean, he's assembled a pretty talented roster. It's not like they're not talented.
I think this is one of my dark horses to make the playoffs in the West. I think that their only real problem is inconsistency of defense. It's been inconsistency in the front office, and it's been defense on that end, and also they haven't been able to stay healthy. So,
I think that's been the biggest one.
Yeah, but they've had what? Cat has had 7, 8, 9 coaches run through his tenure in Minnesota. So it's like he's had a good coach, he's had a bad coach, he's had a terrible coach, he's had a great coach. You
said 7 to 8.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's been that, but he got drafted in 2015.
It's at least 5.
Ryan Saunders, Tom Thibodeau,
David
now
Kahn.
Chris Finch. I don't know if it's been 7 or 8. It's probably been 5.
Yeah, I could have gassed it on 7, 8. It felt like 7, 8. Was Flip his coach or no?
So it was. Let me check right here. Flip was not his coach. So it was Sam Mitchell, Tom Thibodeau, Ryan Saunders, and now Chris Finch. So like 4. Yeah. Yeah. So not 7.
Yeah. I don't know why I thought 7.
Yeah,
7 is
that's
a lot.
OD.
Yeah, 7 is a lot. But yeah, it's Minnesota. Minnesota's in a strange place, man. They're in a strange place. The front office is running. It's a mess right now. And Cat, they're gonna run Cat out of town. Honestly, D'Lo was a Band-Aid. Winning fixes everything, and they have to start winning. And hopefully, this Indian guy can change the face. I don't remember. Gupta can change the face. Sorry, guys. Gupta can change the face. Hopefully, I don't know. Chris Finch. The players seem like they like Chris Finch. So
yeah, they do.
If Gupta wants to win, hopefully he keeps Finch because the players really vibe to Chris Finch. And if not, then that's just gonna put a different narrative to the players. So Minnesota's. Oh man, I feel bad for them, dog. They give me a headache, man.
Media day is Monday, so we're gonna get press conferences from Cat and the front office, the coaches. So we'll see where everybody stands on this. It's gonna be a huge day for Timberwolves fans, but yeah, I'm not sure how to feel about this. Really, I'm not sure if this was a good or bad move. This is one of those moves that Tom is going to tell.
Yep.
Because you could think Rosas was really good and they were trending in the right direction. But maybe Gupta's better. You're not sure. He could be better.
Yeah. We'll see. Minnesota. I don't know, man. Minnesota's crazy.
maybe that Indian guy can. Yeah, that shit's hilarious, bro.
I mean, they did bring in Pat Bev. They are still trying to get Ben Simmons, but Minnesota fans do not want to give up D'Lo.
They shouldn't. I wouldn't want to.
But Malik Beasley is the only guy you would probably give up for Ben Simmons.
But it's really about, do you think Ben Simmons is better than D'Lo?
I don't even think it's about that because D'Lo was there for Cat.
Yeah, I know, but sometimes you got to make hard decisions. So
it's who's going to bring more to the team?
I mean, realistically, if you do have Ben and you have floor spacers like Beasley and Pat Bev with Cat,
but this is
that could be better.
But this is that's the thing. This is Ben if he has a new mindset. You're bringing in
I think even Ben how he played last season, not playoff Ben, but like regular season Ben.
I mean they don't want playoff Ben.
I mean they got to make the playoffs first to get playoff Ben.
That's true. I would want to keep D'Lo.
Me too. I would want to too.
I don't know. It depends.
Because I think Ben fills that 4 spot.
Yeah.
Because I think people are expecting Ben to be this primary ball handler when.
Who does? You want Pat Bev at the 1?
No, I'm just saying, like, I think people expect Ben to be this kind of LeBron-esque, Luka Doncic primary ball handler and be kind of play like Giannis. When, Gilbert Arenas mentioned that on his show. And how I feel about Gilbert Arenas takes.
They're terrible.
Yeah, where I think Ben Simmons is more of a complementary player. So I think he's more of a secondary playmaker. So I think that's why having D'Lo there still would be better, because if you trade D'Lo for Ben, you're basically telling Ben, we want you to run the team.
Yep.
And I'm not sure if he can run a team. That's kind of the big question mark with him.
He's not aggressive enough.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see what goes on